I don't know if you can hear anything, but it's so windy outside. It's one of the coldest days of the year so far. The weather has been going crazy. But that being said, I'm in a very Christmassy mood, even though I just passed the cold, and I wanted to do something fun. I think you're gonna like it. I don't know if many of you will understand what I'm talking about because it has to do something with watches and credit cards. My second love, so yeah.
Hi guys and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel, we're talking about points, bonuses, and travel. Why do I need to say that? I would like to say something smarter. Like what's smart about credit cards?
I know.
We're talking about points, credit cards, bonuses, and travel. If this is something that interests you, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Bravo.
Guys, if you've been in this channel long enough, you know that my second love after credit cards is watches. I don't have any watch channel or anything like that, but they are my passion, my free time. Whenever I don't investigate credit cards and points, I'm looking on watches. So I thought it would be very fun to see what credit card would match with what watch. So without any further ado, let's jump to today's presentation and come back to wrap it up. We're gonna start with Capital One, and I think for Capital One we have to consider two things. The best credit card, we're not gonna go through all credit cards, by the way. We're just gonna do the very important ones, or the ones that I think are very important for each issuer, and because it would take forever. But for Capital One, I think the Venture X is a beloved credit card amongst many of you. I gave it a mediocre review on the last video. Many agreed, many disagreed. I think it's a good credit card. So I think Venture X is a Panerai. Panerai started exploding. It has a long history. It's a very good luxury company. But then somehow it lost its shine. It started dropping, and lately we see it going back up. And I think that's what happened with the Venture X. It started with 100,000 sign-up bonus. It dropped down to 75. That was a big hit. It's a no-brainer like Panerai. It's a luxury watch. It's a luxury credit card, but it's not quite up there, and it's not as mainstream as you might think. And of course, the Capital One Savor credit card, doesn't matter what version we're talking. It's like a G-Shock. It's reliable, it's there, it's affordable, and it complements very well the ecosystem, that small ecosystem. The City Premier is like a good old Tag Heuer, a Carrera Tag Heuer specifically. It's not top of the chain, it's not like quite luxury, but it's not anything that you can just pass without thinking. It's a very solid watch. It's a very solid credit card. So I think it's important to make that connection and see that yes, even though it's not right up there, it's very solid. The City Double Cash and the Custom Cash is like a Seiko 5. They're reliable, they're solid, they're mainstream, much more mainstream than the Premier, I would say. Maybe because of the annual fee, the Premier is not as mainstream as a Double Cash. I know that many of you love your Double Cash, and even more of you lately, you love your Custom Cash, which I'm one of them. So Seiko 5, reliable, there, affordable, no annual fees, very straightforward. Going to the Chase ecosystem, we're looking at the Sapphire Reserve, and for that I chose an IWC, specifically a Portugueser. I think that it's no fuss, luxury, great quality, long sustainable value, but it's very unassuming comparing to other credit cards. I love it. Looking at the Sapphire Preferred, this is a Longines Spirit Zulu. Longines is an incredible company with an incredible history going back in the 1800s. Incredible watches, but they're not quite high-end luxury. They are entry-level luxury, I would say, and this is what the Sapphire Preferred is. And as a matter of fact, the City Premier is one of the same, $95 annual fee. It gives you a lot of options. It puts you into the Chase ecosystem where you can transfer to partners and you have all these nice things with the transferring. But it's not quite luxury. The Freedom credit cards, I grouped them, both the Flex and the Unlimited, into a Hamilton King. Hamilton is an excellent watch company. American company. Well, it started American, it's now Swiss. It was here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and now it's in Switzerland. But the main thing is that it's very solid. It gives better value than most other ecosystems. So we've done the math before. We know that these two credit cards is what give strength to the luxury or semi-luxury credit cards of Chase, both the Reserve and the Preferred. So Freedom credit cards, Hamilton. Going to American Express, we're gonna start low. We're gonna start with the Business Plus, and that is a Tissot PRX. It's incredible, it's solid, but again, Tissot is not quite there with Hamilton in the watch world. And even though the quality might be exactly the same, it's the name, it's the design. The PRX though is a hit, it's a home run, and it helps a lot the American Express ecosystem. So the Tissot PRX would be a great complementary watch in any collection. The Amex Gold is like a Tudor Black Bay. We are with the big American Express. I see it as Rolex. And if you're talking the secondary card on the American Express ecosystem, then that would be a Tudor. Tudor also owned by Rolex, if you know. American Express Gold is like a Tudor Black Bay. And I know you're dying to know this. What is the American Express Platinum then? Well, as I said, it's a Rolex, but it's specifically a Submariner. And it's the standard Submariner. I know that maybe many of you might have different opinion. You have it much higher than a standard Rolex Submariner, but in all honesty, as special as this credit card is very mainstream. Everybody knows about it, and most people can actually get it. The fact that you can get it, even though many times doesn't make sense, or you can't really afford it, or whatever the reason might be, the fact alone that you can apply and get it relatively easy, it's a good luxury, true luxury credit card, but nothing more than that. Looking for more than that, we're gonna look at the Hilton Aspire, and in that case, we're gonna go with H. Moser, the iWatch. They don't call it like that, but it's like the iWatch, Apple Watch, which is an incredibly sophisticated, handmade Swiss watch, mechanical, but it looks like an Apple Watch, even though it costs like almost $30,000. For me, this is the same thing with the Hilton Aspire. Once you have a Hilton Aspire in your wallet, it's a plastic credit card. It's not metal. It's not as fancy as the Platinum, but it offers a whole lot more value, even more than the Platinum, if Hilton is your thing. We've done the math before, we've shown the numbers before, and it's very unassuming comparing to what the Platinum is, or even what the Gold is. Most people around the world know the Gold as a luxury credit card, not even the Platinum. They recognize more the Gold because of the color. So yeah, H. Moser. And now, because you are big fans of this channel and you stayed until the end, we're gonna do one last, and that's a bonus. That's the Citi American Airlines Advantage, and you know what's coming. It's either Hublot if you wanna pay a lot of money, or Invicta if you wanna save at least some money and be a little smarter. American Airlines Advantage is not about the credit card itself. There's nothing wrong with the credit card itself. It's a Citi product. It's an excellent credit card. It has everything to do with American Airlines as a company, and all the service that they offer that, in my opinion, is next to Invicta. And not the good Invictus, because there are some models that I can tolerate, but most of them are like, ugh. So that's all for today, guys. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, or whatever else you're celebrating these days. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have amazing time, good family time. Until the next one, ciao.